place monitor.
And all the Pirates can do is tuck their tails and get out of town. What a start for this bunch led by Clayton McCullough. They don't care how they're going to win. They'll just find a way to do it.
There he is, Tarek Skubal making his third start of the season, looking for his first win. Last year
in the clubhouse, that day games are better. It's cold. I mean, once you, the guys that are playing probably better than the guys that are coming off the bench. You never find a cold coach. We hug the heaters pretty well in the dugout, but it can be a miserable day, and we've got to grind through it. And but I haven't heard of any number that makes it unsafe.
What's some of the coldest baseball you've ever played?
It's kind of all been in Detroit. There's been some cold days. We had opening day, snowed out before in New York. We played a doubleheader one of my seasons here, and at the end of it, in the 30s and 40s, like at some level, it's just cold. There's some windy days that are worse than others, but the one thing about the position at catcher. You're involved a ton. The pitchers are usually feeling pretty good. Casey didn't complain one bit. I think it's the guys standing in the outfield that don't get any action for a while. Certainly the guys in the bullpen are huddled in that bunker. The guys on the bench, try to stay inside. The DH is probably hard because you go from a warm cage to the chill of the batter's box. But every day in April is a cold day.
Any strategy to positioning yourself as a coach near the heater?
No, just don't get too close. I have burned a jacket before. Being too close to the. Yeah. I've ruined a jacket before, which is, to me, is just responsible heat management.
And that's certainly something that we have been working on here in the booth for the last couple of days. It's been a little chilly here. It's chilly today, but the sun is out. Stay with us. We've got more pregame coming up after this on the Detroit Tigers Radio Network.
At Comerica Bank, we're all about helping small businesses grow with the right tools. One way we support our clients is by providing free advertising, like we do for Chalet Floral and Events. With 2 Michigan Designer of the Year awards, they craft arrangements for any occasion and offer gifts, wedding services, and linen rentals. Visit chaletfloral.com for details. Grow your business with free advertising and more at comerica.com/prosper. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender. At Comerica Bank, we're all about helping small businesses grow with the right tools. One way we support our clients is by providing free advertising, like we do for VetLife. Their podcast, From Glory Days, shares veteran stories of transition, challenges, and rediscovering purpose. Listen now at vetlifetoday.org/podcast. Grow your business with free advertising and more at comerica.com/prosper. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Imagine a world where technology transforms the way we think about our environment. Welcome to Priority, where we're redefining the future of recycling and cleanliness with
5 a.m. or 5 p.m.
Heavy and loud.
Or light and quiet. Solo session.
Or team effort.
It's where the work begins.
And never really ends.
However you train.
The gym is yours.
Lace up at nobleproject.com.
Meisner gets into this one, a long drive deep to right. That baby's gone! Home run, and the Rays win it 3-2. Cameron Meisner jumped on the first pitch, his first career home run. Meisner has ended this one in dramatic fashion. First pitch, bottom of the ninth, a walk-off home run. The pride of Poplar Bluff, Missouri. Cameron Meisner.
Oppo Taco.
I'm going to guess
It's an opposite field, upper deck, maybe something like a...
Yeah, home run to the opposite field. You got it.
This is a good one, a hack.
I don't know. I mean, is it the same as like the layman's term hack, like a bad chef?
You've guessed correctly.
Okay.
Someone's a hack, you know, someone that's just mailing it in.
Yeah.
They're not putting their heart into it.
Count is 0-2. Tied at 4 in the bottom of the 9th inning.
There's a swing and a line drive into the corner. Fair ball! A walk-off winner on opening day! Look at him come out of the dugout! It's the first walk-off in Marlins history on opening day, and it comes courtesy of Kyle Stowers. How about that?
Austin Wells is the first Yankee catcher to hit leadoff in a lineup in their franchise history. That is ripped into right, back at the wall. See ya! Home run! What a start! Yankees on top 1-0.
A 2-0 pitch that's up middle of the plate, and you're going to see him get on top of this ball and then get it in the air. And this is Yankee Stadium. It's short out there. That might be a double in most ballparks, but it's a home run here.
Bring more fresh to Easter with great deals at Meijer. Savory Meijer Spiral Sliced Half Ham is the perfect centerpiece for your holiday meal and is now just 89 cents a pound. Limit 2. Del Monte canned vegetables are 89 cents each. And a 5-pound bag of yellow or red potatoes is only $4.99. Decorate your home and table with Easter decor and make Easter a good deal sweeter for your little peeps with toys, candy, and more. Hop into Meijer, where Easter is a good deal better. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
Baseball fans, get ready for Grand Slam deals on Ford trucks at your neighborhood Michigan Ford dealer. Like the F-150, tough as a power hitter at the plate.
And inside, comfort tech and game-winning features.
This truck is ready for anything.
Plus, the deals are a home run.
That's right. The deals knock it out of the park every day.
Built tough.
And to win,
don't swing and miss.
All right, stop by your neighborhood Michigan Ford dealer today.
You just slept on it funny. I think it's supposed to be that color. It's probably just something you ate. That'll clear right up with some aloe. Some chicken soup will have you back on your feet in no time. Not sure. But Mom will probably know.
Don't rely on guesswork. For 85 years, Blue Cross has been providing Michiganders with access to the care and resources they need, and will be ready to help for the next 85 years.
Now, back to the Metro Detroit Buick GMC dealers broadcast booth at Comerica Park. From the field, brought to you by Meijer, official partner of the Detroit Tigers.
Good afternoon, Tiger fans. This is Bobby Scales with the Tiger from the Field Report ahead of Game 1 here at Comerica Park. I'm here with New York Yankee broadcaster in his first year, but his 19th year calling Major League Baseball games, Dave Sims. Dave, thank you so much for being with us today.
Bobby, good to be with you, man. Good to be in Detroit. Can you warm it up a little bit, please?
I got a little bit of pull, but not that much. You guys are off to a pretty good start, 6-3. Lost last night, but overall 6-3 start. It's super early in the season. We all know that. But there's a few things that stick out about this club. Obviously, the home runs, but also the progression offensively with some of these young Yankees that have come through their system, and Ben Rice and Volpe and Dominguez, and you got Austin Wells off to a good start. Each of them have their own story, but how's that start been for those guys?
5 a.m.
or 5 p.m.
Heavy and loud.
Or light and quiet.
Solo session. Or team effort.
It's where the work begins.
And never really ends.
However you train.
The gym is yours.
Lace up at nobleproject.com.
Well, this is the most famous jersey in baseball, right? The Yankee pinstripes, the interlocking NY, and the midnight navy. I was a Yankee fan growing up my whole life, die hard. and became a free agent after 7 years with the Rockies, and I wanted to be a Yankee so bad. Putting this jersey on for a headshot for the first time, it felt different than any other shirt I'd ever put on in my career.
Mackenzie Gore to the mound. Fastball down and in for the strikeout. Down and away. So that's 3 straight and number 5. Oh, that's on the inside edge. 10 strikeouts now.
13 strikeouts. A new Nationals opening day record for Mackenzie Gore. He'll depart the mound to a standing ovation to the first base side. 6 one-hit shutout innings for Gore against the Phillies.
2-1. In the dirt. Gets away. Here comes Hill. He's going to score. 3 wins. 3 walk-offs to start the season.
Kyle, you can't make this stuff up.
What a way to begin the season for the Marlins.
The first place Marlins.
And all the Pirates can do is tuck their tails and get out of town. What a start for this bunch led by Clayton McCullough. They don't care how they're going to win. They'll just find a way to do it.
To mourn the loss of an athletics legend and one of the greatest players in Major League Baseball history, Rickey Henderson. Today, we honor his memory with his number 24 on our backs, all season long with his number 24 on our sleeves, and forever, his legacy in our hearts. Now, please join us in a 24-second moment of silence for the late, great Rickey Henderson.
Michigan's first family of law.
Hey baseball fans, now at Verizon, get our best price. Save on 4 lines on unlimited welcome and on 4 new phones for the entire family when you trade in up to 4 phones from Apple, Google, or Samsung. You choose from our best phones. 1 for mom, dad, the kids, 1 for the whole team. Only on the network you can count on. Slide into your local Detroit Verizon store today. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply for phone offer. Visit your Verizon store today for details.
Swing, there's a drive to left. That one is long.
125 years of baseball tradition continues.
And it's gone, a home run.
Brought to you by Sam Bernstein Law, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, Jack Demmer Ford, Corwell Health, Jack Demmer Lincoln, Fago, Mastercraft Heating, Cooling, and Electric, The D Las Vegas, Metro Detroit Buick GMC Dealers, Northville Lumber, Figer Law, Meyer, Comerica, McLaren Health, Wallside Windows, and Little Caesars Pizza.
$5 a.m. or 5 p.m.
Heavy and loud.
Or light and quiet. Solo session. Or team effort.
It's where the work begins.
And never really ends.
However you train, the gym is yours.
Lace up at nobleproject.com.
Count is 0-2. Tied at 4 in the bottom of the 9th inning.
There's a swing and a line drive into the corner. Fair ball! A walk-off winner on opening day! Look at him come out of the dugout. It's the first walk-off in Marlins history on opening day, and it comes courtesy of Kyle Stowers. How about that?
O'Neill drives one the other way. That's headed out toward right field. He's done it again! The unstoppable opening day machine! Tyler O'Neill has homered for a 6th consecutive year on opening day. This time, he does it in his home country. Look out in Burnet Bay. Two-away, Matt Shaw. Shaw looking for that first big league hit. 0 for 6, 3 Ks so far.
Hits off the claw of Dreyer, and Matt Shaw, that's his first big league hit, saved that baseball. You don't think so?
I don't know. That might be an E1.
Looking up on the scoreboard, there are no errors listed. There it is.
Congratulations on your first big league knock, Matt.
Save that ball for Matt Shaw.
Peraza is at third base batting ninth for your homestanding Detroit Tigers. They'll go this way. Leading off and DHing is Justin Henry Malloy. Kerry Carpenter is in left field batting second today. Riley Green is in center field hitting third. Spencer Torkelson will clean up and play first base. Colt Keith is at second base again today. He'll bat fifth. Zach McKinstry is in right field batting sixth. Late scratch of Jake Rogers allows Dylan Dingler to catch, and he'll hit seventh. Trey Sweeney will play shortstop and bat eighth. And batting ninth is your third baseman, Javier Baez.
Pitching matchup is brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. For all the latest offers, go to Toyota.com. Again, it's Carlos Carrasco against the Cy Young Award winner, Tarek Skubal, making its first home start of the year. Game time weather brought to you by Clean Express Auto Wash, the official car wash of the Detroit Tigers. Fast, easy, clean, free vacuums. Sunny skies, so that's got to make it feel a little warmer down there in the field. 34 degrees as we get this game underway. So again, we appreciate the sunshine. It is a very breezy day, and that certainly plays into it. Makes it feel a little cooler down there on the field. Keys to the game brought to you by Rave Associates, proudly distributing great craft beers like Bell's, Founders, and Long Drink. The keys for Tarek Skubal against this Yankee lineup that loves to launch, Bobby, and for him to have more of a Tarek Skubal type of start. It's been a little bit up and down in his first two.
Well, definitely think that, working the bottom of the strike zone, these guys have uphill plane swings for the most part. I know Tarek Skubal likes to go up with that fastball, especially the four-seamer. You got to be a little bit careful with right there, especially obviously to guys like Judge. If you're going to go up with it on that top rail, you got to make sure you hit that top rail, or if you're in a two-strike situation, go higher than high so that you get them to chase up in the zone. That changeup fastball combination, changing eye level, it's always the key with Tarek Skubal. But again, we need to see it just a touch sharper than it has been for him to get back to what we're used to seeing.
Yeah, there's been nothing wrong with the stuff.
No, the stuff
in these first two starts.
Absolutely not.
First pitch today will be brought to you by McLaren Health, the official healthcare system of the Detroit Tigers. And our first inning is brought to you by Rocket Mortgage. Own the dream. Tigers come in at 6-4, so are the Yankees, but the Tigers have won 6 of their last 7. The Yankees have dropped 2 straight. They now get ready to face the 28-year-old from Hayward, California, grew up in Arizona, Tarek Skubal. First pitch of the game to Paul Goldschmidt is a fastball swing and a miss at 98, and we are underway here at Comerica Park in downtown Detroit. So glad to have you along for Game 2 of this 3-game series. Working third base side of the rubber, Skubal into his motion to strike one, swinging a line drive, base it into center. Paul Goldschmidt can still hit a fastball. He starts the game off with a single. He had a couple of hits yesterday. Third start of the year for Skubal.
Yeah, we just talked about getting that fastball. If you're going to go up there, make sure you hit that top rail or go above it. He didn't. It was more middle of the plate. Inner third, but in the middle segment of the plate. And Goldschmidt takes advantage.
No Cody Bellinger today, so that probably put Ben Rice into this lineup. He is the DH. So far in his major league career, he has struggled against lefties, just 7 for 50. Cody Bellinger a scratch because of food poisoning. He actually did a very nice job against lefties last year, hitting almost 300 with a little bit of power. Rice waiting on a 1-0. Right at the bottom of the strike zone. Slider gets a called strike. Judge waiting on deck.
You know the arsenal from Tarek Skubal. It's a 4-seam fastball, a 2-seam sinking fastball, changeup, and the slider. That changeup is a mighty weapon, and he'll sneak that slider in there for strikes every now and then, too.
1-1, ground ball up the middle, a base hit hard. That'll be fielded by Riley Green, stopping at second. Goldschmidt. I asked A.J. Hinch, how do you pitch to Aaron Judge? How do you limit the damage with Aaron Judge? He said, you keep the guys ahead of him off the bases. Well, today, Tarek Skubal was giving up some hard contact in his first 2 starts. Again, nothing wrong with the stuff, but now he's got to face Aaron Judge with a couple of men on base. And the big RBI men, the ones who excel in these situations with men on base, we see with Aaron Judge, it's not just trying to launch. They'll take their hits, and we saw it yesterday. A line drive single with a runner at second to score a run. First pitch changeup in the dirt. Early jam for Skubal. He sets, holds the glove at the belt. The 1-0. Off the plate away with a slider. 2-0 on Aaron Judge. Keith is right up the middle. Skubal gets a good number of ground balls. Average number of ground ball double plays turned behind him. The 2-0. Middle with a slider. Whoa. Not a hanger, but it was in the middle of the plate.
It was a good one. Tarek will get back into counts with that slider. He definitely did not want that one there. Got away with one right there.
Judge upright, relaxed stance, knees slightly flexed. Menacing presence, change up, swing and a miss. Extends those hands out and away from the right shoulder. Kind of like Ohtani. Just looks like he could hit a home run every single time he steps to the plate. And he often does. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Off to a 13-for-40 start. Judge asks and gets time. Our home plate umpire today is Shane Livensparger. Nate Tomlinson at first. Mark Wegner is the crew chief. He's at second. Bruce Dreckman is today's third base umpire. Yankees in their road grays, the old-style road uniforms, the block lettering New York and dark blue across the front. Numbers on the back of the uniforms, but not the names. The 2-2, swing and a miss. Got him with a changeup, beauty.
That's a good pitch. Gets down 2-0 to him. Drops that slider in, gets away with it. Judge didn't fire on it, but he throws 2 of the best changeups he might have thrown all season. Down and away for a called strike, and then another one down and away gets Judge to swing over the top. That's a tremendous sequence by him and Dingler, but excellent execution by Tarek Skubal.
So as Bobby mentioned, Jake Rogers, who caught every one of Tarek Skubal's starts last year, is not behind the plate today. Jazz Chisholm checks his swing on a pitch down, appeal to third. Bruce Dreckman says he did not go. 1-0 on Jazz Chisholm. So Dylan Dingler, the first catcher not named Jake Rogers to catch a Tarek Skubal start. Going back to 2023, although I think Jake caught most of his starts that year too. Fastball low. 2-0 on Chisholm. He missed it. Jake Rogers out with a left oblique strain. Tightness. Get the terminology right. Left oblique tightness for Jake Rogers takes him out of the game. Baez, Sweeney, Keith, and Torkelson aligned from third over to first behind Skubal. Carpenter, Green, McKinstry in the outfield. Soft ground ball to the mound. Tarek Skubal, little bobble, and he'll have to settle for 1. He certainly was going to go down to second base, get Rice. I'm not sure they would have turned the double play. Chisholm obviously runs well, but he certainly would have liked to have gotten that man at second.
Yeah, you can see it when he comes back to him. The ball was hit off the end of the bat from Jazz Chisholm. Probably had a little bit of spin on there, and sometimes he can have a tough time getting a handle on it. Tarek did the right thing. Took the sure out at first base, second and third here with 2 outs in the first.
Anthony Volpe was looking to launch. First pitch, swinging a pop-up foul and out of play. We mentioned it yesterday, and then he had 3 fly ball outs yesterday. It's a noticeable change in his approach, and Bobby, it can be a dangerous change in approach because it's all either ground balls or fly balls, and when you don't hit any line drives, you can be pitched to. The strike 1, check swing, went too far. 1 ball or no balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, and listen, if he hits three fly balls today, we're fine with that. But this kid's a good player. He's a really good player. He's going to be a shortstop for the Yankees for a long time. And just as a baseball guy, I'd like to see him get to a more line drive approach. That's who he is. Line drives in both gaps. He'll hit his home runs when opportunity presents itself.
0-2, swinging a foul out of play. It's what Spencer Torkelson talks about, trying to hit line drives. The home runs will come, but that's still, Bobby, after all these years, it sounds like an old school approach, but that is the best approach.
It is
line drives gap to gap.
It's the correct approach. I mean, I won't get moved on it. You can pull up all the stats and things you want. It's just good hitters do that.
0-2, got him. Fastball 99, ported on the black away. Close enough for the called third by Shane Livensparger. 2 men on, 2 get into scoring position. Skubal takes care of Judge, Chisholm, and Volpe.
5 a.m.
or 5 p.m.
Heavy and loud.
Or light and quiet. Solo session. Or team effort.
It's where the work begins.
And never really ends.
However you train.
The gym is yours.
Lace up at nobleproject.com.
Well, he's left-handed, and he hits this one with authority. That one is out of here. Juan Soto's first home run as a New York Met, a laser, and so many more to come in the next 15 years. Usually doesn't take long for Soto to hit his first home run with a new team. With the Yankees, it was his third game. With the Mets, his second.
Sometimes you gotta let people know what neighborhood you're from. That ball is squared up.
Party and find it inside the stadium to enjoy during every pitch. Carbliss, handcrafted premium ready-to-drink cocktails. Liss is more. Get great tasting food made to order. Why the sheets not? Enjoy what you want when you want. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Order online at sheets.com or
early threat for the Yankees. First two get on. Skubal takes care of the 3-4-5 hitters. Now the Tigers get ready to face the 38-year-old from Venezuela, Carlos Carrasco. First pitch sinking fastball for a strike to Justin Henry Malloy.
Yeah, Carlos Carrasco out there, a wide variety of pitches. He lists 6, really only 4 in the arsenal that really matter. The 2-seam fastball, 4-seam fastball, slider, and change.
The strike one. Slider misses away.
Going to get a lot of sliders and a lot of sinkers primarily. Just about 60% of the pitches he throws are going to be one of those two.
The 1-1, swing and a miss, slider down below the knees.
And you talked about the stuff once upon a time. It was dynamic. It was power stuff. He had the 4-seamer riding at the top. He had the sinker when he wanted to. Doesn't throw as hard anymore, but he's still crafty.
The 1-2, slider low and away. Yeah, he has advanced to the crafty portion of his career at age 38, but from 2015 through 2019, and curveball combination was outstanding. Yeah. Slider at the knees on the inside part of the plate to Justin Henry Malloy. He gets rung up. He didn't like the call. He thought he'd just taken ball 3. Shane Livensparger says, nope, that was a strike. And it's kind of a delayed call from Shane Livensparger, and I think that was part of the issue with Justin Henry Malloy, but it was right there.
It was very late. Like, there's late, and then there's that. And I think that's what caught everybody off guard. Wow.
Bobby, I've actually never seen that before. Usually, you'll get some indication, but he sat there, considered it for a full second, then stood up, then rang him up.
That's bad.
Kerry Carpenter steps to the plate, scoreless in the bottom of the first inning. Fastball away. Injuries started to crop up in 2019 for Carlos Carrasco, and he has had a hard time staying healthy. 2022, he had a nice year with the Mets, but the last 2 years have been a struggle. Ground ball foul down the first base line with the Mets and with Cleveland. ERA combined in those 2 seasons, almost 6, and just very hittable. Opponents have hit .290 with power against this righty, and that wasn't the case when he was at his peak. The 1-1 line drive into the netting down the left field line. So far this year, one rough start. That was that 20-9 win over Milwaukee. Couldn't stick around long enough to get the win. And then last time out, solid 5 1/3 against Arizona, gave up 3 runs. Now you feel like there's some craftiness in there. The 1-2 bounces the slider.
Without question. I mean, when you listen, you get to that age where you got to do things a little bit differently. Carlos Carrasco, 38 years old, and hitters, the equivalent for that on hitters is a smart, heady hitter, right? So, a guy that's going to sit pitches, he knows he may have to cheat on the fastball a little bit. But for pitchers, he's always had good feel to pitch, and those are the guys that end up staying around to this age. When their stuff diminishes, they still have enough feel to get by.
2-2, Carpenter swings, pops it up behind second base. Shortstop Volpe in, back, makes the catch. So it's a very windy day. We saw this yesterday. It's a northerly breeze. It will come into this ballpark and swirl, but we did see it yesterday. It's kind of still the same wind blowing out to center field. It definitely was boosting balls to center, and today it looks like boosting balls to center, maybe all the way to the left field line as it shifts now and blows from right to left. Riley Green swings at a fastball, fouls it back to the screen. Fastball's a good 2.5 miles an hour below where he was at his peak, which was right around 94 with the fastball. Now more in that 91, 92 range. Catcher today is Wells. He's setting up inside to strike one. Swinging a foul out of play. Up and in a little bit higher with the fastball. No balls and 2 strikes. Carrasco last year with Cleveland, and he went back to Cleveland. Good number of ground balls. Wasn't hit especially hard. He just more of a contact, pitch to contact guy. Fastball up, swing and a miss. Riley Green strikes out, and that's a strong start for Carlos Carrasco. Filled up the strike zone with strikes, strikes out 2. He played one.
Celebra tú también con Betcris.
$5 a.m.
or 5 p.m.
Heavy and loud.
Or light and quiet. Solo session. Or team effort.
It's where the work begins.
And never really ends.
However you train.
The gym is yours.
Lace up at nobleproject.com.
There's an absolute tank! Right center field! It is off the wall! To second goes Ohtani. To home goes Ohtani. It was a home run!
And the question is, without the fans, would have it been a home run?
After review, they're calling the field stands. Home run.
Yeah, like I said, an absolute tank!
Goldschmidt swings at the first pitch and lofts it to left center field and deep. Track, wall, see ya! There's a leadoff hitter, 1-0 Yanks. Bellinger lofts one deep to right center. There it goes into the bleachers. See ya! Back to back. That one's driven deep to left field. There it goes. See ya! Back to back to back. 3.
Second inning is brought to you by the Michigan Lottery. First pitch, slider right at the knees for a called strike. Austin Wells at the plate. It's rare that you'll see this many lefties in a lineup. But this really coming in, swing and a miss at a changeup. Looks like a really good matchup for Terry Skubal with 4 lefties in the lineup today.
Absolutely. He just destroys left-handed pitching, which is why he doesn't see many of them. But you look at some of the good hitters in this lineup, you know, and that's just not to discount Ben Rice. If you had a healthy Cody Bellinger, he certainly would be in there DHing or playing somewhere in the field over him. But a lot of times, Dan, we don't even, I won't say I do less preparation for him against left-handed hitters because he just doesn't face any. So we had to dig a little bit harder today.
Bellinger and Grisham are the 2 best against lefties, but the others struggle. The 0-2 changeup 92. This is low and away. A lefty, Austin Wells at the plate. This is a good-looking young hitter. First full year in the major leagues last year, but he hit 190 with no power against lefties. Soft ground ball foul down the first base line. Jazz Chisholm struggles against lefties. He is also in the lineup today, and Rice so far just 7 for 50 against lefties in his brief major league career. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Fastball up, dispatches the lefty Austin Wells. 3rd strikeout for Skubal.
Oh, that's what he likes to do. He likes to run the 2-seamer in to get ahead of these left-handed guys, sweep some sliders away. But if he gets 2 strikes, a lot of times he'll just rear back and throw that 98-mile-an-hour 4-seamer up in the zone, see if they'll chase. Austin Wells did right there.
That brings up Jason Dominguez. He takes a fastball up. Consensus top 50 prospect, I think it's safe to say, and maybe even higher than that. But he was a little bit all over the map in the rankings going into last year. Dominguez fouls it out of play. He's a switch hitter, batting righty. But I think there is general consensus this is a really intriguing package of skills. Got signed a huge contract when he was signed out of the Dominican Republic. He swings and pops this one up to shallow right field. McKinstry in to make the catch. Jason Dominguez off to a solid start, and we saw him a little bit last year, Bobby. Injury-shortened season because of elbow surgery, but Jason Dominguez feels like someone to watch.
Oh, he's absolutely someone to watch. You talk to some of the folks around the Yankees, and they are still so high on this young man. Say he's a good kid, works hard, just kind of snake bit a little bit by the injuries. But like you said, his package of skills, the tools he possesses, are dynamic.
5 straight retired by Skubal, 3 on strikes after the first 2 singled. First pitch, fastball up and in on Trent Grisham. Swing and a miss. Better versus lefties in his career by quite a bit, but last year struggled. Barely hit 200, no power. Off to a terrific start for the Yankees. The strike one. Oh my. 98, 3 balls within the strike zone. That was called a ball?
It's a strike. I mean, it's right there.
I don't think I've ever seen a miss like that. Changeup down, tap foul. A ball that was 3 balls with inside the strike zone.
It's right there. Like it's you've had 2. We're inside of the, second inning right now. We've had 2 really odd occurrences. A super duper late strike 3 call on a pitch that was correctly called. It's just way late, and then a fastball in the middle that was balled.
The 1-2, swing and a miss. No problem for Terry Skubal. Just meant 1 extra pitch. 98 right by Trent Grisham for his 4th strikeout of the day. This is what we've been waiting for from Terry Skubal.
5 a.m.
or 5 p.m.
Heavy and loud.
Or light and quiet. Solo session. Or team effort.
It's where the work begins.
And never really ends.
However you train.
The gym is yours.
Lace up at nobleproject.com.
Hit well, right field, Kyle Tucker, first homer as a Cub, and they have the lead. It is 3-1, no doubter to right for number 30.
It's just a matter of time, and we talk about the irrelevance of spring training statistics and performance, and he really scuffled throughout spring training, but the lights are on, it's time to go, and he's going.
Carson Kelly's had himself quite a night.
Walk, homer, 2 RBI single, and now this 2-base hit.
Carson Kelly, this is his last chance, you would think, at getting a cycle.
Center.
ER Online Check-In at McLaren. The waiting room can be your living room. View wait times and reserve your spot at mclaren.org/ER.
Fly ball deep to the gap in right center field. That is one hop over the wall off the bat of Spencer Torkelson. It would have been a stand-up triple. The new lower wall, though, it hopped the old wall, and it'll be a leadoff double for Torkelson. Another good swing for Spencer.
Another good swing. It was a 2-seamer in the middle of the plate, and again, Dan, we talked about staying in the middle of the field with line drives. Spencer Torkelson does not do that on that pitch last year. The best we could do is maybe for a hook ball over the shortstop's head. He pounds that ball with backspin into the right center field gap. He's on second base with a leadoff double. Good swing from that young man. Good to see those changes are really, really starting to bed in.
Keith, line drive, base hit over second base, over the head of Jazz Chisholm Jr. Gets to the right fielder Judge quickly. He's got a good arm. Torkelson stops at third. First 2 pitches here in the second inning. 2 line drives, 1 for a double, 1 for a single. Runners at the corners and nobody out.
And another good swing from Colt Keith. It was a changeup, middle. Again, we talked about Carrasco doesn't have the dynamic stuff he once did. He's got to rely on location and movement and keeping guys off time to be successful. First 2 pitches of this inning have been 2 pitches right in the middle of the plate. First and third here with nobody out.
Time for dollars on deck. Zach McKinstry digging in. If he gets a hit now, Northville Lumber donates to Detroit Blightbusters. Northville Lumber is Michigan's #1 Trex dealer. Breaking ball hangs up and away. This is someone you can run on. We have seen Colt Keith sent, the pitcher on the mound, who is easy to run on. Carrasco has been the last 2 years. In at the corners, middle of the infield back. Again, he gets a good number of ground ball outs. McKinstry just great at bats so far. Takes a breaking ball away, 9 for 28. He's drawn several walks. But one thing hasn't changed from spring training. It's line drives everywhere. Quality at bats, including against some tough lefties. The 2-0. Slider in the middle of the plate. Not what he was looking for. Lays off that pitch. Peraza's at third base. He's off the line, right up to the edge of the grass. Shortstop Volpe is up the middle, and the outfield plays McKinstry to go the opposite way slightly. 2-1, fly ball deep to the right center field gap. Judge is on the run, tracking it. He'll reach up and make a fine running catch with the wall angles out in right center. Torkelson tags and trots home. Another good swing for McKinstry. 1-0 Tigers in the second.
Yeah, nice job right there. Looking for a ball you can hit hard on the line. Or at the very least, if you're going to miss in that situation, you want to miss in the air. He did that. Judge got on his horse. Great break over his right shoulder. Running towards the gap. Ran it down. He's a good outfielder, especially in right field. Runs that down. That's a sac fly, though. Zach McKinstry and the Tigers will take that RBI.
Center field a lot last year. That's where Bellinger's going to be a lot this year. Or Grisham. I think that's a good move for Judge. Save a little bit on those legs.
Absolutely.
Ground ball foul. Dylan Dingler doing the catching today. Jake Rogers, a late scratch. Injury report is brought to you by McLaren Health, the official healthcare system of the Detroit Tigers. Jake Rogers, left oblique tightness. A couple of injury updates are on the positive side. Matt Bierling has finally gotten the word he can throw, Bobby.
Let's go.
He is a happy man. So he has been cleared to throw for the first time since, well, the first days of spring training in late February. He's been taking swings. He's been doing everything else, so there will be a progression, but it's quicker than a pitcher coming back from an arm injury, say, and much more of a deliberate ramp-up. Boy, a long hold by Carrasco. Front door slider gets a called strike. Waiting for Dylan Dingler to call time there because Carrasco held it for about 4 seconds, and 4 seconds feels like 20.
especially when you're leading off at first base.
Keith edges off. Dingler waiting. The 0-2. Swinging line drive, base hit into center field. Keith will stop at second base. Grisham up with the ball. Really good swings this inning. Pretty hittable pitcher, and the Tigers are showing it with their swings here in the second.
Yeah, it's a nice job by Dylan Dingler. That was a slider. Not a bad one. It was on the outer third. But Dingler reached out there, hit it right back where it came from on the line up the middle.
That's just not the same dynamic stuff,
no,
is it?
It's not.
It's not even really close for Carlos Carrasco. Brings up Trey Sweeney, putting together a lot of good swings, 8 for 31. Some deep fly ball outs as well. He swings and pops it up foul and out of play, well back third base side. In other injury news, Gleyber Torres taking some swings. If it hadn't been so cold, there was a planned live batting practice session for Alex Cobb, and that would have probably been where Gleyber Torres could get some swings, but that was canceled because of the cold. Ground ball back to the mound, fielded by Carrasco. Throw to second, 1, and Volpe's relayed at first. That's an inning-ending 1-6-3 double play. Nicely turned by both Carrasco and Volpe, the shortstop. Tigers settle for 1.
5 a.m.
or 5 p.m.
Heavy and loud.
We're light and quiet. Solo session. What team effort?
It's where the work begins.
And never really ends.
However you train.
The gym is yours.
Lace up at nobleproject.com.
There's an absolute tank! Right center field! It is off the wall! To second goes Ohtani. To home goes Ohtani. It was a home run!
And the question is, without the fans, would have it been a home run?
After review, they're calling the field stands. Home run.
Yeah, like I said, an absolute tank!
Mackenzie Gore to the mound. Fastball down and in for the strikeout. Down and away. So that's 3 straight and number 5. Oh, that's on the inside edge. 10 strikeouts now.
13 strikeouts. A new Nationals opening day record for Mackenzie Gore. He'll depart the mound to a standing ovation to the first base side. 6 one-hit shutout innings for Gore against the Phillies.
Now one stroke deep to left center field. That's way back there, head of the wall. It is gone. Christian Campbell with his first major league home run. Absolutely destroys that one into the
corn.org.
Off the bat of Oswald Peraza, utility infielder for the New York Yankees, getting the start of third today. Pops it up, shallow right, caught by McKinstry. 1 pitch, 1 out. See this a lot. Teams get very aggressive against Tarik Skubal. Yankees, and this is what we're seeing now from the Tigers, have really blended the ability to work an at-bat with being aggressive in recent years, although last year they were the team that took the most first pitches of an at-bat. Tigers were second. Tigers have climbed to the top. They're being much more aggressive while still seeing a lot of pitches. Change up in the dirt. Paul Goldschmidt has 3 hits in the series. Started the game with a line drive single off a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. First trip through the order for Tarik Skubal. First pitch strikes now to 6 of the first 10 batters. Goldschmidt swings and misses. Fell behind a couple of batters in the first. Now he's really dialed it back in. Drops a hand, big leg swing. The 1-2 swing in a soft foul off to the right. AJ Hinch has talked a lot about the personal catcher. He wasn't going to mess a whole lot with the Jake Rogers-Tarik Skubal combination. Certainly not last year. Change up away. It seemed to be working quite well. But this year's, he did say that he wanted, and he did have Dingler catch Skubal in the spring, because you just never know when, as he said, could be a foul tip away from losing that personal catcher.
Right.
So wanted to make sure that Dingler had caught him, and it just felt like at some point he was going to catch him anyway. Today it's because of an injury. The 2-2, swinging a line drive to center field, hit hard to his right. Riley Green makes a catch, moving toward the left center field gap. Sharp line drive single. We talked about weather yesterday and the effects of the cold, and the perfect days to talk about it, because these are the conditions. If there's no wind, the conditions that drive down the distance on a fly ball can really knock the starch out of a hard hit ball. High pressure, a day like today, bright sunshine, ground ball softly to short. We'll have to pick that discussion up in a moment, because Rice hit a ground ball right to Trey Sweeney. Flips over to first for the third out here in the third. 1-2-3. Skubal, after the first 2 reached, has retired now.
5 a.m.
or 5 p.m.
Heavy and loud.
We're light and quiet. Solo session. What team effort?
It's where the work begins.
And never really ends.
However you train.
The gym is yours.
Lace up at nobleproject.com.
Carson Kelly's had himself quite a night.
Walk, homer, 2 RBI single, and now this 2-base hit.
Carson Kelly, this is his last chance, you would think, at getting a cycle.
Center field, going back, Bleday. It's off the wall. Racing towards second. Go! Here we go! And he's in! Oh, my! We got a cycle!
First cycle since Mark Grace.
Max Muncy in the air. Max Muncy traveling back.
Ashley, the official furniture and mattress provider of the Detroit Tigers, donates up to $500 to nonprofits supporting Michigan kids. Go Tigers!
Javi Baez leads off. Carlos Carrasco on the mound. First pitch sinker at 89. Sinks a little bit low. Ball 1 on Javi Baez. 9-1-2 hitters. Malloy Carpenter to follow. 1-0 Tigers in the bottom of the third. So glad to have you along on a beautiful, sunny, crisp. My partner might have a different word for it, but a crisp, cool day in downtown Detroit.
Your partner has a word for it.
Cold.
Period.
The 2-0 check swing, and he went too far. 2-1 on Baez, off to a 7-for-22 start. We've talked about his at-bats. I mean, he had 3 hits the other day. The one that you liked the most was a fastball away that he drilled down the right field line, the 2-1. Low and outside of the sinker, 3-1.
I sure did, because he stayed on that ball. It was a fastball. It was a pretty well-located fastball. 2-seamer on the plate, came back to him a little bit, but nonetheless, even if your plan is left center field to try to pull that pitch, that's a ground ball to short. His wasn't, stayed in the middle of the field, and he hit it hard down the right field line.
3-1. Up and in, slider has Baez backing out of the way. Keep an eye on him over there at first and see if he tries to run. You would expect he would. He got picked off yesterday by a lefty, Rodon. Third inning today is brought to you by Mastercraft Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electric. For fast service and the best price, choose Mastercraft. Series brought to you in part by your Metro Detroit Buick GMC dealers. Second time through the order. Justin Henry Malloy, ground ball deep, third, foul. Getting back to weather conditions because, again, in cold weather, just compared today's game against Tampa, playing down in Tampa. A couple days from now, it's going to be 80 there. The difference between a 30-degree day and an 80-degree day, just on temperature alone, about the best estimate. This comes from a book by Robert K. Adair called The Physics of Baseball. About 2.5 feet for every 10 degrees. So a 50-degree difference between the starting time here, game time temperature, and in Tampa in a few days, it's going to be 80. About 12, 13 feet on a fly ball.
That's real, too.
Knocks it down that much because you're trying to travel that ball through colder, denser air. Malloy swings and misses and strikes out for the first out here in the third. High pressure also decreases the flight of a batted ball, makes it harder to travel through the air, and dry conditions, low humidity. All those things together, those are the worst conditions for hitters, and that's what we have today. High pressure, dry, cold. Flip that around, a summer storm, high humidity, high temperature, warm. Now that ball is flying an extra 12 to 15 feet. Just to give you a feel for what the difference cold makes and why it's such a big factor early in the season in northern cities. Carpenter takes 1-0, swinging a ground ball to first, diving backhanded stop by Goldschmidt, but as he got up to throw to second, he dropped the ball. He picked it up, won the race back to the bag, and gets Kerry Carpenter for the second out. That gets Baez into scoring position at second base, leaves it up to Riley Green.
Boy, that's a good play by Paul Goldschmidt over there. He's won multiple Gold Gloves. Good fielder, even still. Nice job to hop off the bag and catch that ball, but it just kind of squirted out. He corralled it and stepped on the bag, but he wanted to be aggressive right there and fire down to second base to try to start the double play.
That leaves it up to Green. He struck out on fastballs first time up. He gets a sinker and taps it foul down the first base line. Torkelson waiting on deck. He started the second inning with a double up the left center field gap, right center field gap, and then scored Single by Keith got him to third. McKinstry deep fly ball. Nice running catch by Judge. Brought home the only run of the game so far. 1 run on 3 hits for the Tigers. No runs, 2 hits for the Yankees. The strike one. Soft ground ball tap fouled on the first base line again. So change-ups and fastballs from Carrasco to Green. I kind of like this matchup coming in, but he's pitched him tough.
Yeah, he has.
Today's game brought to you in part by Meyer, official partner of the Detroit Tigers. The 0-2. High and away with a 4-seam fastball. Volpe at short, shades up the middle. Baez runs well. Really one of the best base runners on this team, along with Zach McKinstry. The 1-2. Swinging a line drive. Served out to Peraza at third. He was well off the line. Riley went down, tried to punch it into left field, and there was Peraza standing in the way. Soft line drive out, and the Tigers threat.
5 a.m.
or 5 p.m.
Heavy and loud.
Or light and quiet. Solo session. Or team effort.
It's where the work begins.
And never really ends.
However you train.
The gym is yours.
Lace up at nobleproject.com.
Please welcome 2025 National Baseball Hall of Famer, number 51, Ichiro Suzuki. Wow. Great pitch, Ichiro. And congratulations on your well-deserved induction into the National Baseball Hall of Fame. We cannot wait to celebrate you all season long.
Cameron Meisner gets into this one, a long drive deep to right. That baby's gone! Home run, and the Rays win it 3-2. Cameron Meisner.
Network, NorthvilleLumber.com.
Fourth inning today is brought to you by Wallside Windows, local and family-owned, celebrating 81 years as Michigan's leader in replacement windows. Change-up down to Aaron Judge, the 1-0. Change-up outside. This is how the first at-bat started, but this is when you like to face Aaron Judge. Base is empty. Starting an inning. In the first inning, batted with 2 on and nobody out. The 2-0. Backdoor slider. Very similar to the first at-bat. Fell behind 2-0. Slider in the middle of the plate. Got him back into the at-bat. 2 change-ups finished him off. 2-1. Swing and a miss. Late on a fastball. Love it.
That is a fantastic pitch. He drops that slider low and away from him in the strike zone on the 2-0. Make it 2-1. Then he throws a heater down and away from him in the exact same location at 97.
It's still the best pitch in baseball, isn't it?
A well-located fastball, and always will be.
Into his motion, the 2-2 from Skubal. Swing and a foul straight back, 99-99. And 99 fouled it straight back.
And he was on it, too. All those foul balls straight back to the screen are not created equal.
How do you tell when a guy's on it?
That was a good one right there.
The 2-2, swinging a high fly ball, center field, fairly deep. Riley Green says, I've got it. Moving toward the left center field gap. He was shaded to the right center field gap. He makes the catch for the first out here in the fourth. So how do you tell? It's where the contact on the bat is. Carpenter so far he drew his first walk of the year yesterday. But 3-1, swing and a miss. As long as they're throwing the ball in the strike zone, he's going to be swinging. Chased a little bit in one game and struck out on some high fastballs. But this is a guy who's doesn't really go through a lot of cold periods. He's pretty consistent. Fastball strike throws him. That's a surprise. 3-2 fastball, 95 squarely in the strike zone.
Yeah, it's a good pitch by Ian Hamilton right there. It's a fastball down middle on that bottom rung. And Kerry just couldn't pull the trigger on that one.
One of the things that Kerry battles is he feels like he can hit everything. So sometimes he says, I do have to remind myself to make sure I take my walks. Ground ball to shortstop Volpe on the right field side of second base on the dirt. Fields and flips over to first. Riley Green 0 for 4 today on the soft ground ball out. Baez started.
The count is 0-2. Tied at 4 in the bottom of the 9th inning.
There's a swing and a line drive into the corner. Fair ball! A walk-off winner on opening day! Look at him come out of the dugout. It's the first walk-off in Marlins history on opening day, and it comes courtesy of Kyle Stowers. How about that?
And Cameron Meisner gets into this one, a long drive deep to right. That baby's gone! Home run, and the Rays win it 3-2. Cameron Meisner jumped on the first pitch, his first career home run. Meisner has ended this one in dramatic fashion. First pitch, bottom of the 9th, a walk-off home run. The pride of Poplar Bluff, Missouri. Cameron Meisner.
A sartorial issue here. There's the team name, Chicago Cubs, so it does work. It's got the right color. Yeah, it's gray.
Maybe there was something went wrong with his other one.
1-1 to Marte in the air, right to the guy we just showed you.
NorthvilleLumber.com.
Trent Grisham batting. First pitch from Brant Herter to start the top of the 8th inning is a fastball low and outside. Game started with a Paul Goldschmidt line drive single. Ben Rice sharp ground ball single off Tarek Skubal. 2 on, nobody out. Skubal then retired 16 in a row. Fastball strike to Grisham to make it 1-1. Goldschmidt with a soft infield single in the 6th inning. Judge with a little bloop into right. I'm not sure we've said that in the last 5 years. A bloop for Judge for a single. That's the sum total of the Yankees offense today. 4 singles. Skubal went 6. Herter worked a 1-2-3 7th. Grisham leading off here in the 8th inning, down 1 ball, 2 strikes. Left side of the infield is Baez and Sweeney today. They shift to the right. The outfield shifts the other way on this lefty. The 1-2. Swinging a broken bat, caught by...
You gotta be kidding me.
Herter, a soft line drive. He reached behind his back. We see pitchers try that all the time. Herter made the catch, and he acted like, yeah, no big deal.
He also had this sharp projectile coming at him.
Jeez.
In the name of Grisham's bat head. That's unbelievable. Reached right behind his back. The ball went right in it. The bat head missed him too.
I mean, that's one of the great plays you'll ever see because of what you just said. That bat barrel flying out toward the mound. Soft fly ball to right off the bat of Oswald Peraza for the second out. McKinstry makes the catch. And you could see him kind of flinch as the barrel of the bat broke and snapped and went toward him.
Yes, as you
flinches.
Get out of the way.
And then reaches behind his back to catch the line drive.
Brant Herter, go play the lottery this afternoon after you get away from the park, big boy, because that's unbelievable how he caught that ball.
No smile, no nothing,
No.
just like, all right, it's the first out. What's the big deal? Here we go. Fastball low and outside to Paul Goldschmidt. 8th inning brought to you by Hatfield Foods. Put pork on your fork. Check some scores on the 1-800-CALL-SAM Studio scoreboard. All the games later today. Fastball up and away. Twins and Royals play tonight. Royals a game behind the Tigers going into play today. Guardians home against the White Sox. It's their opening day. Ben Lively on the mound for Cleveland. Sox already 2-7, looking like another tough year for Chicago. We got our first look at them, and it's going to be tough. The 3-0 pitch. Fastball strike on the outer edge. Always like the chances of this lefty, Brand Herter, getting back into an at-bat if he falls behind. 6 walks in 45 innings last year. Sweeper at the bottom rail gets a called strike. Goldschmidt thought he'd drawn a walk. It's now 3-2.
Yeah,
what a pitch.
That was a really good pitch. Nice wide sweeper. Started off the plate, ended up back on it right at the bottom rail.
Goldschmidt spreads out, knees bend, upper body upright, cocks the bat over the right shoulder, hits a ground ball fair off a changeup down the right field line, kicks off the stands, fielded by McKinstry, and Goldschmidt, very conservative, down 5-0, stays at first with a 2-out ground ball single.
Oh, that's a good job of hitting by Goldschmidt. That was a good pitch down and away. It was a changeup down and away. And again, this is the sign of a mature hitter. You go back and you look at the numbers, and you see why he's had the years he's had. He gets the 2 strikes and he really battles and he takes what the pitcher gave him. That pitch was down and away. He didn't try to do too much with it, just pokes it in the right field for a base hit.
2 outs, a man on first. Brings up the lefty, Ben Rice. First pitch sinker for a strike on the outside corner. Herter outstanding, shutting down righties and lefties last year in his first shot at Major League action. Lefties actually a higher average. Righties 188, but they had a little more power. Swing and a miss, a wave at the sweeper. Ben Rice is going to need a moment.
That was a funny swing by Ben Rice. Way out in front of that sweeping breaking ball there.
Stepped out of that left-handed batter's box, composes himself, digs back in. Go right back out there. The 0-2, swing and a miss. Got him with a sweeper away. Ben Rice strikes out. Goldschmidt's single does no harm. Tigers bat in the 8th inning with a 5-0 lead. This is the home of Detroit Tigers baseball, presented by Meyer.
That one's driven deep to left field. There it goes. See ya. 3-0 Yankees. High fly ball, left field. Curio back, track, wall. See ya. A grand slam for Aaron Judge. And the Yankees are pouring it on. High fly ball, center field. See ya. 3 home runs for Aaron Judge. They've done it again.
There's the bunt. That could be trouble as Petrie. No, Stevie dives in and beats it. Good effort by Steve Lyons.
And that'll be a base hit right there. Good job. I'll tell you one thing, not a bad defensive play either by the Tigers.
Did you see that? He's going to get the dirt out, and all of a sudden he unbuckled his pants and they fell down.
This copyrighted broadcast presented by authority of the Detroit Tigers may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Detroit Tigers. 5-0 Tigers, bottom of the 8th. Let's pause for station identification on the Detroit Tigers radio network.
Everybody job, but not everybody there.
Torkelson leads off. Fernando Cruz, a right-hander, takes over on the mound for the Yankees.
Cruz out that Yankee bullpen. 2 and 4 seam fastballs, but his main 2 pitches are going to be his split finger. He throws just over half the time in the slider.
Torkelson batting first pitch is the sinker, low and away, ball 1. Double and a home run for Torkelson. He has scored 2 runs. Home run was his 3rd. Talking about good hitters have to hit line drives. You look at Paul Goldschmidt's career. Power, but always a good line drive rate. Slider strike. That's why we were talking about with Anthony Volpe, as he now is hitting the ball in the air, and his line drive rate has fallen from a league average right around 20% to 4%. That, to me, makes him a much more pitchable hitter. Splitter gets a swing and miss. But what was Spencer Torkelson's goal this year? More line drives. That's his approach. That's his thought process. It will lead to home runs. And his line drive rate is almost doubled. It's only 10 games, 11 games now, but that's exactly what he wanted to do.
That's it. I mean, he's made the changes necessary, and you're seeing the results. Yes, it's early. We understand that. But his process is much better, and even the outs are much better this year.
The 1-2, swing and a miss. This time he chased the splitter, and that tells you the quality of that splitter, because he just got Spencer Torkelson, who's swinging a pretty good bat right now, to swing and miss at 2 of those splitters in the dirt.
Yeah, it's really good action. He threw that fastball down early in the count, and then you saw splitter. Good line, looks like a heater. Good arm speed from Fernando Cruz. But as it gets to the plate, it just at some point it just drops off the table and disappears.
Very interesting mix of numbers for Cruz with Cincinnati the last 3 years. His career didn't start until he was 32. Fly ball, right center field, not deep. Judge will give way to Grisham, who makes the catch. Keith flies out for the 2nd out here in the 8th inning. Career started at 32 and at 33 and 34 the last 2 years with Cincinnati. Walk rate a little on the high side, but strikeout rate that is eye-opening. Almost 15 strikeouts per 9 for Fernando Cruz. That's 109 strikeouts in 67 innings. And that made him attractive to the Yankees, and a lot of those strikeouts racked up with that splitter. He throws one to McKinstry, ball 1. 5-0 Tigers in the bottom of the 8th inning. They've out-hit the Yankees 9-5, out-homered the Yankees 4-0. Splitter misses a little bit low. 1-1. They're 2-0 on McKinstry. He's got a home run today, and a single, and a line drive sacrifice fly deep to the right center field gap. Peraza, the third baseman, is off the line up to the edge of the grass. Volpe, the shortstop, up the middle. The outfield plays McKinstry to go the opposite way. 2-0, fastball strike.
Right there on that bottom rail. 50-50 pitch. Wells does a nice job of making it look better than it was.
Cruz works over on the third base side of the rubber. The 2-1. Swing and a pop-up playable. By third base, Peraza racing over toward the Tigers dugout, stops on the dirt track, makes the catch by those middle steps, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Cruz. First one for a Yankee pitcher since the
Max Muncy in the air. Max Muncy traveling back towards the wall. See you later. How about your first big league hit as a homer? 6-0 A's, and Max Muncy, we got to get you that ball back.
Atta boy. Well, Max Muncy, Jenny, he's been hungry for that first one.
Not one person made eye contact. Now they're going to come for him.
Hits it well, right center field, into the gap. Page's back, he can't make the catch. It'll one-hop the wall. Dansby scores. Amaya to...
Complete. Online and in store. Thank you for playing the Michigan Lottery. Goodbye. Knowing your limits is always the best bet.
Hey, baseball fans, Mike Valena here. If you're looking for a great trip to plan, go do something fun, how about Vegas? The D.com, the D Las Vegas. It's your home for Detroit sports in Vegas.
Ninth inning brought to you by Comerica. Only one bank has been committed to Michigan since 1849. That's Comerica. Today's game brought to you in part by Corewell Health. No matter the challenge, the response is always the same. We can. Judge, Chisholm, Volpe to face Brant Herter in the ninth inning. Brant Herter already has a classic old-style save this year. Worked the final 3 innings of a win. No matter the score, you get a save. There are a handful of those every year. A handful. Judge, check swing, went too far, strike one on the changeup. He might pick up his second. He might single-handedly bring back the old work 3 innings and get a save. But you just don't see it. But Bobby, you and I were talking during the break. This feels like a perfect role, and he's adapting to it so quickly. But what a thing to be able to bring him in after Skubal. Check swing, went too far. Knowing he can get righties and lefties out and have him work the final 3 innings.
And you feel comfortable up to 2 times through the order with him.
Yep.
You saw that last year. You know, so it's this is developing into a thing, and I think you're right, Dan. It is the perfect role for a guy like him. He's got starter-esque stuff. You used him in pressure spots last year. He's not going to be afraid of the moment.
Keep him a little bit stretched out.
Yep.
The 1-2, swinging a pop fly. Softly into center field. Riley Green will come in, but that's going to drop. 2 bloop hits for Aaron Judge. If you can do that, yes, he has 2 hits, but if you limit him to that, you're pretty happy.
Absolutely you are. I mean, there's 2 base hits that he did not hit well. He was a little bit out in front. That was a good changeup from Brant Herter that was down, went down and got it. Listen, it's a base hit, but so what? You're right. You know, you kept him in the ballpark and you kept him off extra bases. You'll take that.
Jazz Chisholm batting, first pitch, sweeper. Dang.
That's a strike.
That's a perfect pitch, ball 1. I mean, that grabbed the outside corner and it swept in from the other side of the plate. That's had to cross the plate at some point. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. High and tight with the fastball off the slider away. Baez deep and off the line at third. 2 steps behind the infield grass. Sweeney shades up the middle at shortstop. 5-0 Tigers in the ninth inning. 6 strong innings from Skubal. Herter trying to close it out. Bunt down the third base line. That'll be fielded by Herter. Plants throws. That's a really nice, smooth job by Herter. Bounced off the mound. Didn't rush. Got a speedy runner by 1.5 steps at first on the attempt for Chisholm to bunt his way on. 1 out, Judge at second.
Yeah, that's a good play. It wasn't a great bunt by Chisholm. Just okay, but Brant Herter hopped off the mound quickly. Secured the baseball and then fired a strike to Spencer Torkelson over at first base. Good play.
Now the righty Anthony Volpe takes first pitch fastball at the belt for a called strike. So many things to like about Herter's 45 innings. We told you how tough he was to hit. But it's that great combination. He's in the strike zone. He's a ground ball guy. More than half the balls put in play are on the ground. And it's soft contact.
Yeah.
All of those things add up to a guy that, as you said, he can go through an order a couple of times. And this begins his second trip through the order against the Yankees. Volpe the first to face him, grounded out his first time up. The 1-1, low and inside, changeup, pulled it down and in.
Yeah, Dan, one thing that was really important in what you just said is the fact that he's a ground ball pitcher. If you have a guy that you're going to use in kind of leverage or late inning situations, it's a fly ball guy and he doesn't get a lot of strikeouts. You get a little bit nervous with that, but he puts the baseball on the ground a lot.
2-1, swing and a miss. This is one of the things we've seen in the last few years, 2-seam fastballs thrown up in the strike zone. It's been around for a while, but more and more. But that really wasn't a thing 10 years ago. Volpe sinks down into his stance, takes fastball up, and it's now 3-2 on Volpe. Pretty aggressive hitter. If this pitch is close, you would think he'll be swinging. Herder sets, holds glove at the letters, pauses for a beat. The 3-2. Away. It wasn't close. Easy take for Volpe. 5-0 game. Tigers don't want to get somebody up and throwing, but with 2 base runners, AJ Hinch will get somebody up and throwing. You can see everybody stirring. See who gets the hurry-up call. Will Vest is one of the very best in terms of getting ready quickly. Dingler out to the mound to buy a little time for whoever it is that begins to throw. And it is indeed Will Vest. So Dingler buys as much time as he can, has as long a conversation as he can before Shane Livensparger goes out and breaks it up. Heading to the bottom part of the order, Wells at the plate, 0 for 3 today. This bottom part of the order, Wells, Dominguez, Grisham, Peraza combined 0 for 12. Grisham, a left-handed batter. First pitch. Fastball sinks low and away, ball 1. See if he can get one of those ground balls right here. Great double play candidate if you can get him to hit it on the ground. Herder sets, checks Judge at second, the 1-0. Ground ball softly up the middle, fielded by Sweeney, steps on second, throws to first. Tigers win!
Ask and you shall receive, partner.
Grant Herder closes it out after a strong 6 innings from Tarek Skubal. Tigers break out the power bats today. Torkelson, McKinstry, Dingler, and Carpenter all with home runs. Good day at the ballpark. Our final score, the Tigers make it 5 straight, 2 straight over the Yankees with a 5-0 win.
Style or substance. Somehow it became one or the other when choosing a truck. But there is another choice. Not stopping until you have everything. That's GMC Sierra. We are professional grade. Michigan residents get $1,000 lease cash. Well-qualified GM employees with a current eligible GMC lease use it to get a 24-month ultra-low-mileage lease for $229 per month with $27.59 due at signing on a 2025 Sierra Light-Duty Elevation Crew Cab 4x4 with a 2.7-liter engine. Must be a current lessee of a 2020 model year or newer Buick.
5 a.m.
or 5 p.m.
Heavy and loud.
Or light and quiet. Solo session. Or team effort.
It's where the work begins.
And never really ends.
However you train.
The gym is yours.
Lace up at nobleproject.com.
Carson Kelly's had himself quite a night.
Walk, homer, 2 RBI single, and now this 2-base hit.
Carson Kelly, this is his last chance, you would think, at getting a cycle.
Center field, going back, Bleday. It's off the wall. Racing towards second. Go! Here we go! And he's in! Oh, my! We got a cycle!
First cycle since Mark Grace.
Austin Wells is the first Yankee catcher to hit leadoff in a lineup in their franchise history. That is ripped into right, back at the wall. See ya! Home run! What a start! Yankees on top 1-0.
A 2-0 pitch that's up middle of the plate, and you're going to see him get on top of this ball and then get it in the air. And this is Yankee Stadium. It's short out there. That might be a double in most ballparks, but it's a home run here.
I went to college at Northeastern University, and all my friends were Red Sox fans. And while in my 3 years there, I really grew to appreciate Red Sox Nation and everything that they bring to the table. And once I got my head wrapped around the trade, I was really, really excited. I think they have one of the most iconic logos, these 2 socks right here on the sleeve. I love keeping it simple, really fond of the font, and I think it's a really cool look.
1-1. That's it well, right center field, into the gap. Page's back.
AJ talked yesterday in media just about how you're so good at dealing with the unknown. You can be put in any position. What does it mean to hear your coach say that?
Oh, yeah. AJ early on was that was his first message to me, just, hey, you're going to be everywhere, be ready to be anywhere. So, yeah, I mean, I just go out.
Austin Wells is the first Yankee catcher to hit leadoff in a lineup in their franchise history. That is ripped into right, back at the wall. See ya! Home run! What a start! Yankees on top 1-0.
A 2-0 pitch that's up middle of the plate, and you're going to see him get on top of this ball and then get it in the air. And this is Yankee Stadium. It's short out there. That might be a double in most ballparks, but it's a home run here.
Carson Kelly's had himself quite a night.
Walk, homer, 2 RBI single, and now this 2-base hit.
Carson Kelly, this is his last chance, you would think, at getting a cycle.
Center field, going back, Bleday. It's off the wall. Racing towards second. Here we go! And he's in! Oh, my! We got a cycle!
First cycle since Mark Grace.
To mourn the loss of an athletics legend and one of the greatest players in Major League Baseball history, Rickey Henderson. Today, we honor his memory with his number 24 on our backs, all season long with his number 24 on our sleeves, and forever, his legacy in our hearts. Now, please join us in a 24-second moment of silence for the late, great Rickey Henderson.
O'Neill drives one the other way. That's headed out toward right field. He's done it again! The unstoppable opening day machine. Tyler O'Neill has homered for a 6th consecutive year on opening day. This time, he does it in his home country.
Look out in Burnaby.
Call Sam. The Sam Bernstein Law Firm, Michigan's first family of law.
At Corewell Health, we know time doesn't heal all wounds. Hard work, innovation, and we do. We're fighting cancer with proton therapy.
And Cameron Meisner gets into this one, a long drive deep to right. That baby's gone! Home run and the Rays win it 3-2. Cameron Meisner jumped on the first pitch, his first career home run. Meisner has ended this one in dramatic fashion. First pitch, bottom of the 9th, a walk-off home run. The pride of Poplar Bluff, Missouri. Cameron Meisner.
Mackenzie Gore to the mound. Fastball down and in for the strikeout. Down and away. So that's 3 straight and number 5. Oh, that's on the inside edge. 10 strikeouts now.
13 strikeouts, a new Nationals opening day record for Mackenzie Gore. He'll depart the mound to a standing ovation on the first base side. 6 one-hit shutout innings for Gore against the Phillies.
O'Neill drives one the other way. That's headed out toward right field. He's done it again! The unstoppable opening day machine. Tyler O'Neill has homered for a 6th consecutive year on opening day. This time, he does it in his home country.
Look out in Burnaby. Stottlemyre still wants somebody. There's Randy Johnson, the big unit. He towers over everybody. Randy's got to change his cap.
Oh, jeez. There you go. That looks better. Get that D-backs hat on,
Randy. Dodgers up 2-0. And the batter is Tommy Edman.